In this video, I just wanted to quickly share with you some perspective basics. So the first thing is your horizon line, and basically all that means is your eye level, okay? So however high up or down on a scene your eye is, that's the horizon line. When we think of horizon line in landscape, you might think of where like the ocean would meet the sky. But if you are above that scene and your eye line is here, this is your perspective horizon line, okay? And you'll be looking down at that. So perspective is just basically how we make things on a two-dimensional surface, like your paper or canvas, look three-dimensional. So first thing, horizon line is your eye level. The next thing is your vanishing point, okay? Now this is the point that the lines recede to, because as you look at things in space, everything gets smaller the further it gets away from your eyes. Now in one-point perspective, all the objects will be parallel to you, okay? They'll be straight across from you. They won't be tilted or turned. So if we were to do, for instance, a box in one-point perspective, it might look like this. We see the front of it, and then all the side lines go straight back to our vanishing point. And then you could add in these other lines. So this line is going to be straight. And this one, these vertical ones, are also going to be straight. And then the ones that recede are the ones that are going to tilt, okay? So you could put that box anywhere on your page. And then based on where this is how you would see it, okay? And then from here, we're not going to see the sides of it because we're looking, it's almost right lined up with the middle of our eyes. Now if we could put it over here off to the side, now we're going to see underneath of it, under it, because our eyes are below it, and we're going to see the sides, okay? So it's going to look like this. And then if we're going to put it over here, we're going to see the top of it. We're going to see the top of it and the side, and of course the front, okay? And then these lines are still straight. All the vertical lines are straight, and the lines facing us are parallel to us and they're straight. And then these ones recede back. So this is a fun thing to use, like if you were to do some little thumbnails and you just wanted to quickly sketch out an idea, and you might just say you have a train track going off this way and you want to put some buildings off to the side. And if you wanted to see how windows on a building might look, all of a sudden you know exactly the line that those are all going to follow. Okay? And then there's, as you learn this, there's all kinds of little different formulas and whatever else that you can do. Add in sidewalks, whatever else. Like for instance, if you wanted to gauge exactly where the next, if you were going to do a line of like fence posts here, and you want to say, okay, where would the next one line up? Let's say you're just doing an imaginary scene. So there's all kinds of formulas that you can do to see exactly where the next one in line will be and get that spacing into perspective. So all of a sudden, this paper, we feel like we are moving back into it. It's going somewhere. It's super, super fun. So this is just another tool in your artist toolbox, just something to play with. Whether you were doing imaginative work, impressionistic work, abstract work, it's always fun to know how to create space on your paper. We use this if we're doing heads and figures, people, organic shapes. And you could say, okay, eye line, this is my ear, this is the eyes are moving into space this way. I'm going to see underneath the chin because I'm looking up at this person. So there's a million applications for this. Just another fun tool to have in your toolbox. So it can feel overwhelming and very technical, but just remember, this is a tool. Have fun playing with it. I find the best way that these things stick for me is if I just take a little time, throw down a horizon line, and just begin to try to create little scenes or, you know, see what I can make. And there's all different things that you can do with just starting with that square shape. So if we wanted to, you can begin to turn it into circles and ellipses, and you could see how those would move back in space. So have fun with this. Again, just to recap, horizon line, that's just our eye level. Vanishing point, that's the point things recede to. And then 1 point perspective is just where all the objects are parallel to you. And just to show you what that looks like if it was not 1 point perspective, if this was 2 point perspective, that would mean that we could have an object on the same horizon line, we're at the same eye level, but now we see that object turned. So instead of seeing this flat front of it that's parallel to us, now we see this corner. Okay, and so now it goes back to 2 different spots on the same horizon line, and this is called 2-point perspective. So now you have a whole nother set of shapes and ways to manipulate shapes that you can play with. So that's 1 point, going back to 1 point on the horizon line, 2 point, going back to 2 different points on that same horizon line. All right, happy sketching.